Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of CanalTown here in City Skylines. With the last episode, guys, we made great plans and great progression towards building our little tourist area. Now, it's all gearing up towards us building the beachfront, which is going to be the pièce de résistance on the approach from the sea to CanalTown. It's going to complement the area really well. Now, what I want to do in today's episode is set up the infrastructure to slowly start bringing the tourists over to this area via public transport before we then go on to build the area. So I don't want to build it, get overloaded with traffic. I want to have the good transport infrastructure in place so we do not have any issues. Now, if you do enjoy this, want to see more of CanalTown in the future, then make sure you smash that like button down below. The city is slowly coming along right now, and if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when the next episodes do come out. Now, yeah, like I said, the city is now coming along right now. Look at it. The canals are looking so beautiful. They are protected by the big beachy seafront area, and from a distance, oh my goodness me. From a distance, this all looks quite bare. It's like almost like as if a city does not exist. You know what I mean? So I gotta make and fill all these spaces now up. So last episode, we built a little bit over there, which is still coming together. What are these guys complaining about, right? Is it not enough educated workers? Yes, it is. They'll slowly get educated as more people move in. I mean, we got 200 people moving in a week, so that's pretty good. We got this area set up. The beginnings of our tourists is to slowly bring them in to then push them down to the beach. Now, I do need to set up some public transport infrastructure to allow a little bit more movement around this area, because I can't keep relying on these bridges to bring people to the actual stadium. So what I want to do is I first want to set up a new ferry line. And we're going to utilize this edge running around here, which means we have to go clockwise. So I know we can bring them in here, go all the way around there, which we don't have any ferry stops around this bit here. So that's going to be a benefit as well. So all the way up, around, and then it comes out here. So I got the option to either go down here and then skadoodle down this, which will give these guys public transport, which is actually amazing. And I don't know if I want to do the usual, just go straight down there to to go through all of this where we currently have ferry lines, or to do a turn there. These guys don't have any stops, right? To then maybe turn here to. It's going to be a very simple loop, but that could work. Also, I've noticed I've still got a little bit of a kerfuffle going on down here right now, don't I? Oh my goodness me. These guys will never be happy. They will never be happy, boys. Never be happy. We need more highway connections. We really do. But just forget that for a moment, because this is going to be a quite important run. So before I do that and get the ferry stops down here, let me just kind of finalize where we're going to have the odd road sticking in and out, just so we can kind of work with this area. So if I got the road here, let's go for the 10 just there. And if I ran, where does it start to bend? Well, if I just take it to there, I'm going to use the connection tool here. Now, this might seem too obvious to build said connection around, but it doesn't really work that way, because this follows the ferry line and the bend's going to be completely different. I mean, the argument you could make is, Seniac, do the parallel tool instead. Because I could then bring this further in. We're saying what we're saying about that's a good connection. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. And then we'll just make it work. We'll make it work, and then we'll come off the next one. At least I can then start to plan out where I want my ferry stops to be. Alright, continue the bend just there. That almost connects in. It's like we're just ever so slightly off, wasn't we, with the alignments. Alright, get all this in. So we got the zone in. Right, good stuff. Very good stuff. So we got this long run, which I'm going to utilize this right now to build a couple of stops in. So we'll do one just there. I'll do one just here. Do one just there. And we'll do one just there. So these might be completely random, but I'm going to use them to filter in. I want this area to run awkwardly and freely a little bit more. Like, you see how the roads span out and then kind of come back together and whatnot. I want it to be a little bit different than the other areas that we kind of build. But that's quite important to get all those in, by the way. It is quite important. Now, this is the issue we've got right now. Look at this. All that new commercial, all that new tourism thrown in, they're going to be heavily relying on driving across the bridges to get to this area. So we're going to see a little bit more build-ups in the traffics. So let's get these ferry stops underway. Let's get these stops underway. Right, so we got a canal ferry stop, and we'll start with the first one. Yeah, let's start just here. Oh, I've got to reconnect that up as well. So one just there. I'm going to then have one just here. And then we'll have one just before it then enters. There's a little bit of a crisscross with the lines just there, which will be handy. So now as we come into this area, what will be the better option? To bring it just here, I reckon? Or just there? I reckon just there, because it's slightly off the on and off ramp for the highway. And then we'll have one more just here before it departs out into the wilderness. So that's pretty good. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stops there, which will be really handy. Okay. Now we know we're going to come in from this direction, so we're going to have to kind of bring the road a little bit closer. Or I don't on this area, and then we just do a road connection snap into it, which wouldn't be a bad thing. So let me just extend this road a little bit further out, because I'm going to kind of keep somewhat to the grid. And maybe I come to here and I'm going to do a 20 by 20 bend as it takes away. Just want to set that road up so I can get a stop in. So back to the public transport. We'll have a stop then, we'll go a little bit more centralized. We'll go just here. Which that has sunken down. Oh, I didn't realize how high the canal system was. Okay, we've got to decrease that in just a moment. We'll have one just here for these guys. Now, we're going to go down in this direction, won't we? So I'm going to snap one just there for this little island. We'll try and do one for each island. Now, that will be too many. Right, I'll do one just there. We'll then do one just here. And then we're going to be pumping in that direction going out. So I reckon the last one then to take place just there. Near some, that's a hospital there, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, just before they go out, because there's a bus stop further up here. Oh, there's these two Chrissy crosses just there. So throw that one in as well. Now, there's a lot I've got to do now to kind of sort all this out and unhook them. But before I do the rest, let me just sort out this canal here. I didn't realise that was doing that. So if I get the alignment tool, if I go from there and then just kind of bring it in. I mean, it's okay there, but it goes considerably up, doesn't it? So it will slightly change the water and whatnot, but we'll get it to more of a level playing field, which is a lot better. And that works fairly well for us. So we need to go around right now and unhook every single one of the roads to these canal stops. This one's in this direction. So unhook you. Alright, let me... I should really... Oh, snap. I should really try and delete them as I'm doing them. Because I'll get carried away and kind of forget. I really will. Alright, delete you. I'm going to push these further back in when we come to place the roads down. Because they do stick out a little bit. I mean, they naturally stick out anyway. Well, that's not the piece I want. Unlock. There we go. We're on fire, boys. We're on fire. Right. Unlock. Glorious. See, we're getting there. We're getting there. Unlock. Delete. And then we need to unlock this one, but this one's a little bit tricky because it's kind of on the bend. There we go. Try and stop your boy right now. That ain't gonna happen. And then we had the next one just down here. And then there was one more just down here. And there we go. So, it's just these two are got to now fixate and connect the road to them. So that would be fairly good. So select you and select you. And then push them back a little bit. Are they both there now? Yep. Yep. And then I'm going to use a raw road to bring the connection down. I think that would be pretty nice. So if I go across just there for a connection, delete that one. Works fairly well. Doesn't need to be anything over the top right now. And then do that just there. And then I'll redo them as we come to building these areas. And then we know how the road's going to connect to this road. Then I might rejig and change how some of this then works. So this one I'm going to have to bring my own power to, because it's the only one, apart from all the other ones over here, that don't quite have the power at the moment. But I'm wondering if I can place down... Oh, yes. I kind of said this last episode, that I want it to be slightly low density and build up to high density, but I don't think I want low density residential over here. It does mean there's going to be a lot more people. But, I don't know. I don't know if this is a good idea, having the residential, having too much residential in this area. But then again, if it's all kind of commercial, that's going to also bring its own issues. So let me just give it the water. I don't think you'll truly win no matter what you kind of put on this island. There's always going to be traffic issues. You know what I mean? There's always going to be traffic issues. So we've got the water. We just don't quite have the power. That's the other side of it. We don't quite have the power right now. But let it do what it's got to do anyway. It ain't going to be too much skin off our nose right now. But let's get the ferry line in. This is going to be the first one. Oh, hang on. I forgot to connect this bit. Right, delete you. This is going to be the first one. That's, you know, slowly going to push more people over in this direction. That's the best way to put it, right? It's the best way to put it. So if I start here and go to here, to here. So following this all the way around. Oh, I didn't get that connection in as well. Well, if I get the rest of the stops in, and then we'll connect the rest of it all up. And it should follow it all through anyway, naturally. Stop into there and complete the loop. So I just got to get the ferry pathway. We're in uncharted territory now, boys. Right, push that way first. Because we don't know if we're going to go that direction yet, but I'm sure we will. But just kind of connect that in first. So that loop then should update momentarily. It should update momentarily. And because these don't have electric, I don't think the ferry line is going to function. So that brand new one, that purple route, let me do it by name, which is line 12, needs our, is it Blixbury? Yes, those ferries. Need to change it out for those first. It still hasn't updated its route yet. Alright, we'll give it some time. We'll give it a little bit of time. But there we go. There we go. So let's try and build this area up a little bit more then. As we continue. Try and build it up a little bit more. We got this road that kind of comes down here. Which I reckon... Alright, if I bring it just to there... Oh, what road have I got right now? I don't want the tree road. Right, I'm going to connect it like that, so it's a little bit different. And then we'll pick a... We'll come off... We'll do a 20 just there and connect in. So we'll have... I'm going to use connections, because this is more fun to build. because you don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know how it's gonna like eventually line up. Little wiggle like that. It's just a little bit of fun. Just something a little bit different, isn't it? That's what we're going for. So from there to there. So we'll do all of our main dragged run routes based on these connection tool roads. There we go. That's quite fun. And if I then get rid of you for a second. If I then come out here by, well, that's 6, but come out here by 5. Back to the connection tool. Right. I'm pushing boundaries now, guys. I'm pushing boundaries now. There to then there. And again. Back in. This is really funky. We're going to get more roads in, don't worry. And I wonder if... Nah, not having a connection there, that would be too much. Unless, again, we'll do more of a bend. To run us out and through. Guys, someone save me. Someone save me right now. But again, these wider spaces could be useful for planting down like the larger landmark style buildings anyway. So that's the other side you've got to see of it. So let's have a quick little look. I know I've got the colossal office orders building. It's like this building here fits. I could like place it here. And then we have, you know, all the zoning around to kind of build stuff for it. So that's kind of how I want to go with this area. It's kind of what I want to get done. We also have the servicing service buildings, which again, like, you know, I could squeeze somewhere here and utilize the space around. So it looks very plain and boring at the moment, but this is how we're going to build the area up. This is how we're going to do it. But I got to be a bit careful though, because money can disappear very quickly. So if I place this building just there. So they are large style buildings, but you know, there's nothing compared to all this over on this side. So step by step we do it, guys. Step by step we do it. We got the expo center. See, that's another good building for like around the stadium, which I reckon we squeeze just there. And the aquarium, is this one the aquarium? Yes, it is. Squeeze this puppy in as well. Now I'm going to put the aquarium just here, and I'm probably going to build maybe a park around there as well. This is the science center. I'm going to place this science center just there. Like I said, I'm going to try and build park space around all of this. The academic library, the aviation club. That one's the Sphinx thing. This is really weird. We have the modern art place. Now this is more of a long rectangle. Throw that in just there. And then we'll end it off. Is this the CN skyscraper? We'll end it off with a building like this. And I'm going to place this just on the edge just there. So it looks quite random and quite spread out, but once we build this area up, it becomes quite a tourist hotspot, which we can then use to filter more people towards the beach, which is going to be really good. But we need a lot of stuff going on here to be able to supplement all of these passengers coming in. Even if it means I have to kind of slightly rejig this whole interchange here to allow us to have a few more turn-on, turn-offs to supplement this area. You don't know how you got to fix things until you get the issues. So my next issue then is just making sure that these stops are all going to have power. Otherwise, we're going to have some big issues. So gonna paint in some commercial where I can, just to begin with. And we can also specialize this commercial as well. That wouldn't be such a bad idea. Paint all of this in. And like I said, we're going to do park stuff going around all of this. So the power connects there, so I can now start to get rid of the power grids. Going down here, so I can get my zoning back. Oh, good. Power's over to there. We'll just got to wait for a little bit of commercial to build up in this triangle to connect all of this in. It's connected there. It's connected there, so it's just this little section. I'm just waiting for the commercial to grow a bit more. It's mainly what we're doing. And I'm going to utilize all of this section going down to be in offices. Because you've also got to provide, you know, some type of industrialized building, which would also create cool skyscrapers as well, especially if I turn it into an IT cluster. You got to think of all these things, because I got to spend the industrial demand to build the other demands up. So let that do what it's got to do. Let that do what it's got to do. Did this area slowly come together then in the end? I believe it did. Still waiting for a few educated peeps, but, you know, who isn't? And they're now complaining about power again. Oh, is the power disconnected? Wait, wasn't the power connected a minute ago? Or am I dumb? I might be slightly stupid. Yeah, I might be slightly stupid here. But I'm going to run down all of this with industry. And offices. There's something going on with this road as well. Let me upgrade that to stick down. There we go. Paint all that in. And again, paint all this in. So we're keeping all this to offices. It'll be a nice little run of building stuff. So we are going to have to squeeze the power in, unfortunately. There's no ifs, no buts, no about it. Now, I might build my park first to kind of bring it all together. So we're going to go for a city park. Alright, I build the main entrance just over here. And then we'll zone it all out. Now, this is going to be quite a tourist area. It really is going to be quite a tourist area. And I reckon I'm going to bring it up to here as well. Extend it up to there. We'll try, even though there's going to be roads going through it, I'm not really building this to make money. I'm building it more to kind of spread the leisure and fill the dead space in between the areas. So, add a couple of side gates here and there. And we can complement it with the buildings going around the edge as well. So we'll do a little crossroads in some of the areas. Just to kind of naturally make it feel like, you know, it's all part of one big park. You know what I mean? Alright, delete that extra one there. I don't really want that one. There we go. So we'll just start with the paths for now. Alright. I could run that diagonally. I can run this out. And run that out. Let's get some more connections down here in first. And the only one we're missing right now is this one. Which we're gonna wiggle down like that. And we'll just do something like this. Nothing over the top, nothing too crazy. Because we're going to fill it with trees and other kind of buildings inside. So it's all going to like it progresses going through. So bringing this down there, bringing that down there, and then we'll kind of get them all connected. So if I try and at least get that something connected here. I don't want it to be normal and ordinary and boring. the one thing I'm trying not to do with this area. Or any of these areas, that matter of fact. Alright, bringing you up. And bringing you... We'll cut this one straight across. And keep it like that. It's simple. It looks like a spider. but it will work. That's the main thing. Now the great thing is I can utilize these little gazebos as a way to push the power around, which is quite handy. As well as, obviously, I don't want to place too many down because it then looks a little bit suspicious. But you know what I mean? It's a great way to then move power around as well. So let's do an odd one of these here and there. Like I said, not too much thrown in, but it would do us justice. And then stuff will build around it, and it will kind of almost feel like a central park. It almost feel like an extension to the stadium area too. That's kind of what we're hoping for. Now we need not enough educated workers. We need more educated people. How dumb are our residents? I mean, I do have 33% of them uneducated. That's for, like, you know, I don't have the capacity for elementary school, so I've got to get a lot more stuff in, don't I? I've got to get a lot more schooling systems in. Yeah. So good ways to do it is to also build elementary schools near park areas, because it also then makes people walk through to the park. So why don't we do that around here too? Going for these higher capacity ones as well, because this will also complement the tall buildings that we have in this vicinity. So we'll go with those and kind of stick with those for now. So yeah, that will work. So this new ferry line then, no one's really using that one. Fair few people there. I think we need a few more boats on it, if you ask me right now. So line details, we only have 5 vehicles and so many people waiting at the stops. So I'm going to go max, actually I'm going to go 20. 20 might be a bit harsh. No, because then again, what this area is going to be, I probably will need the 20. So pump out a few more boats. That will be greatly appreciated. So we're going to see in this area, no question about it, so much more traffic in general. Now, I can't get too panicky or worry too much just now, even though I'm seeing backlogs down the highway, because you got to initially wait for everybody to move in the area. Once all the residential's built, once all the zoning's then built, everyone's in, then we'll see and then we'll judge how bad the traffic is. It's just everyone initially moving in the area first, so you got to give it a little bit of leeway before you do anything about it. And then we'll judge it, and then we'll see if I need to add any more highway connections. Maybe we need another bridge over here going across, like the one over here. You know, that's when we decide what we have to do. So for now, we'll just let it run its course, and let's just kind of see what happens, and then we'll see if I need to do anything additional. But it ain't too bad. This is quite a build. It's going to be quite a big built-up area once it's all done and dusted. So that is going to allow us then to progress. And next episode, we'll start by laying the foundations for our beach area. This is very exciting, guys. One small step for man, one giant leap to the beach. So until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So good.